I'm live, but not with it, apparently. There we go. Hi, guys. Um, Sorry, getting my computer set up. I, whew, what a day. What a weekend. Oh, everything's going really well. I was able to advertise my hardcover copy of my cookbook on a couple of places, and sales took off over the last week, which has been really exciting. And I'll be really honest, it's been really nice because I really need it. Because you know what I haven't done in the last couple of the years? I haven't seen a dentist. I haven't had my eyes looked at, and I have to go deal with the girl parts. You know? So, yeah, the next thing I have to do is spend money. So, if you could buy books now, that would be awesome. If you can't buy a book or you already have a book and you don't want to buy another one, although I should note, they make great Christmas gifts. um, you can always review my book on Amazon, and it's very appreciated. I have quite a lot of star reviews, but not as many written reviews, and I would love to have more written reviews. So if you have something to say about the cookbook or about any of my other books, please go onto Amazon and write about it and tell me what you think. I do listen, and I will hear what you have to say, and it will help me. Um, Plotting and planning. So I am plotting and planning a couple of different things right now. Some directly for NaNoWriMo and some not so much. Um, I'm going to talk about cookbook planning first because that's kind of more in my head. Um, I am, of course, working on a van life cookbook, which I have tentatively named Eat Well, Cook Small, Live Large. um, This is probably the biggest challenge to me as a cookbook writer or as a writer at all. I'm not going big. Going big is easy. I know how to add more food. Boy, do I know how to add more food. Have I told you the story about how Mistress Leary and I had a feast and we expected to feed 35 people um, and ended up feeding 116 and had leftovers? Big is not an issue. I'm good at that. But I can't do any of my normal cooking for the van life cookbook because I cannot assume that there's just these, people are just going to have these weird ingredients or these odd tools that I use on a regular basis. Um, it has to be small, it has to be compact, and it has to be for a single person or two people, and it has to be doable on a single burner, at most two burners. And the biggest challenge is not coming up with the recipes, it's paring the recipes down to make one person's meal. On Friday, I was very pleased with myself. I sat and I wrote, oh, the Thanksgiving feast for one. And that was awesome. It's all made in a single pot with tinfoil, and it includes turkey, stuffing, gravy if you want it, green beans, carrots, and a baked potato. So, yeah, I mean, it's got all the things that you need to have a great Thanksgiving feast. And before the book is finished, it will also have how to make a single serving, um, like a tart, a mini pumpkin pie, or a cranberry tart, or something like that. So that, even if you're on the road, you can still have an amazing and wonderful Thanksgiving. And so I'm really excited about it. So I'm kind of going through and coming up with the recipes that are healthy and easy to make, but also fit that tiny profile. And for me, that's one of the most difficult things, and it's the most challenging, and I love it. Uh, I'm so grateful to Justin and Smokey DeVan for the opportunity to do this and for the idea of writing for a tiny audience, tiny kitchen audience, big audience, tiny kitchen. Um, it's not what I originally thought about, and so I'm really excited. It's kind of taken off. I've had people already expressing interest in publishing it, reading it, doing test recipes for me. It just overwhelmed with the excitement over this. I don't know. I don't yawn when I'm not on camera. I get on camera and I go like this. I don't know what it is. Not enough coffee in the world. It's because I do this on Mondays. I should do it on Tuesday when I'm not so exhausted. But, you know, um, wow, apparently we lost light. Okay. Well, anyway, um, but in regards to NaNoWriMo, I'm working on my science fiction novel for NaNoWriMo, and I'm not the only author of this book. Uh, And so my co-author is writing the science part and I'm writing the fiction part. This means we have to work together. He's not doing NaNoWriMo because this part of writing isn't his gig. So I have to do enough planning in my own upcoming work for November to have um, to know what he's going to have to come up with. So by the end of the first week, I'm going to need all of the science for the spaceship. By the end of the second week, I need all of the science for the aliens. By the end of the third week, I'm going to need the answer to this puzzle, this science puzzle. These are the things that he's going to need to know in order to have time to return to me. And so it's forcing me to do this plotting and what I'm going to be writing and how long that writing is going to take me. This is not my usual, usually I'm more of a seat of the pants kind of person, or in the middle, I do a little bit of planning and then I just sort of wing it. I can't do that with this. It requires that extra planning. And so it's really stretching me as an author and as a writer, and I love it. I love getting the opportunity to do this and to work with another author and to put together this book, which I hope will be of very well received and that it will be very interesting to people. Um, I'm trying very hard to create a novel that would make Heinlein and Asimov and Herbert proud. And I mean, I could look at it and go, I can never walk in their feet. I can never walk in their shoes. They're giants. I'm just a little pipsqueak. And in certain ways, that's true. I am. On the other hand, if I don't do this, who will? Maybe nobody. So maybe it's my job to do this. All I can do is give it my best shot. I wanted to talk a minute with you guys just briefly about helping other people. I belong to a number of author forums, and I share my videos and I share my books and some of the things I've written and whatnot. And I answer questions that other people ask and help people out. I love doing it. One of the things that happens a lot in these groups is that people come in and say, how do I write a mystery novel? How do I write a romance novel? How do I write a sci-fi novel? And from our perspective, as people who've been in the group for a year or two or longer, you get bored of those questions. And that's not the fault of the people who are coming in. It's just not. And we have to keep that in mind. And it's not always easy. So last week, I had somebody come into one of my groups and he said, I want to write a science fiction novel, but I don't know how. How do I do this? And I knew nothing about the person who was asking the question, but I thought about it and I could have just walked away, which is what I sometimes do. I could have done what other people did and went, just sit and write, which is kind of a passive aggressive attack on the person. And I didn't want to do that either. Or I could treat it as a serious inquiry. And that's what I did. And I said, one of the things that has really served me as somebody who's trying to write science fiction is reading it. So familiarize yourself with the most prevalent science fiction. So Star Trek, Star Wars, Babylon 5, Firefly, Space 1999. These science fiction um, shows and authors and created tropes which have become a part of our whole society. And in order to write good science fiction, you have to have read it and watched it, and not just one or the other. You really need to be able to do both. So I said, go and watch the original Star Trek on Hulu. It's available. Go and watch some of the new Star Trek. It's available on Netflix. Go and read some Heinlein. Here's Heinlein. You can download for $2 on Amazon. Um, Go and read Herbert. Pick it up at your library. Go read Dune. And then go out and watch Firefly and the original Star Trek series and that kind of stuff. And familiarize yourself with that which you want to write. And once you're there, then you can sit down and start asking yourself, what are the topics that I want to cover? Because science fiction is such a huge topic. And so I really delved into this for this person. And it turned out that the person who asked the question was a 14-year-old kid. And this is his first attempt at writing. And I was so pleased with myself and so pleased that he asked. And then he got me on a day when I was willing to answer. Because, and some people are like, why do you bother answering these guys? Like they ask this every day of the week. Yeah, okay, they do. But how do I know he's not the next William Gibson? How do I know he's not the next Joseph? Uh, my brain is broken. The hero myths. There are so many writers out there, and we don't know who's going to make it and who isn't. I mean, come on, people. If Stephanie Myers can make it, any of us can make it, okay? So, by answering him honestly and seriously, I opened a door for him. And I really hope he walks through, because he had some cool ideas, and maybe they have a little bit of maturing to do, but that's okay. I mean, I'm horrendously embarrassed by the stuff I wrote when I was a teenager, but I'm still glad I wrote it because it got me to where I am today. And what he writes over the next 5, 10, 15 years is what gets him to where he needs to be a writer, to be an author, to be, the sought after person. Oh, we want to make a film of your book. I hope that my words encouraged him to go and learn this craft. And I hope that if you ever ask me that question, the question I've heard a billion times and that I'm tired of hearing, that I answer you with the patience and the honesty and the forthrightness that it deserves. And I hope that you, as an author or a reader or a painter or a dancer, go out and answer those same questions from the people who follow you with that openness, because it makes a difference. You can make a difference. I like to think I made a difference the other day. For those of you who have stuck through the whole video, come and see me this weekend. That's September 25th from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. at the Fitchburg Riverfront Park. It's kind of this little park across from a coffee shop. I can't even remember the name of it. Wow. And I go there all the time. Anyway, if you look up the Riverfront Park or the Fitchburg Forge Inn or the Fitchburg Blacksmith and Renaissance Festival, all these things will bring it up. You can also get to it from my webpage, which I've linked below. And come out and visit me. I will be putting on a cooking demo. I think I'll either be making beef stew or chicken stew. Haven't decided yet. And I might make some flatbreads. I haven't done that as a demo yet, and I thought it might be kind of a fun thing to do that was a little different. And we might have Viking babies there. I don't know. I'm trying to convince people to bring their kids, and I think it will be a good day. And I hope to see many of you out there. It's an outdoor event, so even though we're seeing higher COVID transmission right now, I think my group is all vaccinated. The fact that we're all outdoors and there's good airflow, I think we're going to be fairly safe and that it will be a great place. If you want me to wear a mask, please just ask. I will have a mask with me, as will everyone else that's around. Have yourselves a great week, okay? Go out, write, plan, plot, get things written down, think about where you want to be. And, we got one more week of kind of brainstorming, and then we're going to get into some planning in earnest for NaNoWriMo. I love you guys and take care. I'll see you soon. Bye.